Hey kids, all right, it's reading time, and I hope you've had a chance to practice your new word list and read the story. We're going to go over the word list and then read the story together. All right, let's do the long E with a single E. He, me, we, be, remember, reward. You hear that plane flying over my house? Jeez, sounds like I'm at the airport. All right, then we're going to do double E's, long E. See, tree, free, agree. Need, feed, weed, weak. Deep, keep, sleep, asleep. Feel, feet, sweep, street. All right, let's read this cute story called Mr. Keenan's Contest. It was a summer day. Lee and his dad sat at the table. His dad had made him a game. Deke, Lee's pal, came up the steps. Lee's mom let Deke in. I went up the street to Mr. Keenan's pet market, Deke said. He wants us to enter a pet contest. 37. Lee and Deke went to see Mr. Keenan. Yes, he said, a contest will be held on Monday. Get a funny pet and you can enter it in the contest. Lee and Deke agreed to get a funny pet for Mr. Keenan's contest. Right, we're on 38. Is a bee a funny pet? Is a bee that has big feet a funny pet? Is a tree frog a funny pet? Is a tree frog in a dress a funny pet? All right, they're imagining what kinds of pets they could do. Deke went up a tall tree to hunt for his funny pet. A robin in a nest was all he saw. Lee went to the lake. One duck was all he saw. It swam in the water. It was not a funny pet. Can they get funny pets? Will they be able to enter the contest? Yeah, this is a challenge. It is Monday. A lot of funny pets are at Mr. Keenan's pet market. A brown beetle that skates is in the contest. He's contestant number 1. A rabbit that hops on its back legs is in the contest, like a ballerina. Deke has a snake that grins, but Lee wins the contest. He has a green grasshopper that winks. See, he got the blue ribbon. Check for understanding. Why did Deke go to see Lee? Remember when he went to Lee's house and Lee was playing a game with his dad? Why did he go to his house that day? If you're saying it's because he wanted to tell him about the pet contest, you are right. Okay? Mr. Keenan wants us to enter a pet contest. Number 2, where was the contest? All right. Mr. Keenan's pet market is where the contest was being held. All right. Now, in our workbook, we are going to do 16 and 17. Okay, and this is about Mr. Keenan's contest. So if you need to read your story again, if you feel like you need to practice your story again before you do this page, that is fine. All right, let's read our choices. We have a big word. Look. Grass hopper. Grasshopper, day, funny. The blank saw an ant. The blank saw an ant. The grasshopper, the day, or the funny saw an ant. Fill in the bubble. You don't have to write it. All right, and then work on the rest of this page. All right, and page 17 is about the main idea. Main ideas are always a little bit more challenging. So you have two stories, okay? One is about a classroom and one is about a garden. So you're going to have to underline one of these answers, 1, 2, or 3, that tells the main idea of this little paragraph that we're going to read. All right, so let's read the paragraph. Mrs. Wilson shows us how to add numbers. She tells us how to print our names. Mrs. Wilson helps her class. All right, so the kids are in school, they're adding, they're writing. She teaches them. All right, so which one of these is the main idea? Mrs. Wilson shows us how to add numbers. Is that true? Yes. Is it the only thing she did in the paragraph? No. Try number 2. Mrs. Wilson helps her class. That's true. That's the last thing the paragraph said. She helps her class. Number 3, Mrs. Wilson wants us to help her. Did Mrs. Wilson say you need to help me in this paragraph? No, not in this paragraph. They probably do have helper jobs during the day, like we do, but it's not in this paragraph. So which one is the main idea? The one about adding or the one about her helping her class? Which one is the most important that tells about the whole paragraph? If you pick 2, you are right, okay? If you picked 1, that's just part of the main idea. The main idea is the most important thing, okay? Not just one piece of the story, but something that tells about the whole story, and that she helps her class. All right, so number 2 is the one you should underline. And then do the same thing with Pete's garden, okay? Read all the different things he does in his garden and then pick the most important sentence that tells about it. That will be the main idea. All right, I'll see you again next week for the last week of our reading groups.